What is going on, everybody, and welcome to episode number 3 of the Your Personal Squad Builder series. And today we'll be looking at a squad that was requested by a pretty long time subscriber now, Callum Wittering, who wanted a 60k Premier League team. So thank you very much for your long-term support, Callum, and that is exactly what we're going to be doing. I would like to say as well, apologies for the last episode number 2. I put the camera in the middle and my face wasn't really central at all. It ended up half on camera, half off, but that's all been fixed, as you might have seen in other videos since then. But today, 60k Premiership team is what he wanted, and that's exactly what we've gone and done. Here is what we've gone for. We've gone for a 4-3-3, one of my favourite formations on the game. I love my wingers personally, as you may have seen in previous squad builders, and I think this comes in at around 58,000 coins if you're good at getting your bargains and whatnot. It comes in just under 60k, and it's a really strong team. We're going to do the video exactly in the same format as we did in episode number 2, which is half the episode will be me talking you through the squad and the instructions on the squad, and then the second half will be going through some of the highlights from the game that I played, showing you what the team's doing, what it's doing right, the goals, any goals are considered, all that kind of stuff will be covered, and that'll be that. So, the team that we've gone for, I've got some solid players in there, I've got some OP players in there, I've got some flair players in there. It's a really nice team to use. This formation is one of my favourite in the game, with the cam in the centre attack in this position here, in the 4-3-3, with these two as holding midfielders almost, if you like. But we'll start at the back. In the actual game, I used MATIC, and he had a pretty solid game, but I figured out roughly how much the team costed, and there was about 20k spare. It was a lot cheaper than I expected it to be, so for that 20k I would go out and get Courtois, because in my opinion he's one of the best goalkeepers in the game. You can see I bought him for 115k a long time ago, but completely ignore that, because if you go on to the compare price now, you'll see he's going for around the 20k mark. So real steal in my opinion. You can probably get him for less than 20k there. Look, you can see he's probably still got just under 60k here, but what a keeper. Probably the best keeper in the game. If not, he's definitely up there. This isn't included in forms, of course. I mean, best base card goalkeeper in the game. He's absolutely phenomenal, and you cannot go wrong with him. Moving into defence, on the right hand side we've got Kyle Walker, absolute pace team, and another one. Again, I paid 9,700 a long time ago now. You can see he's played 137 games for me. Absolute tank, 91 pace, his main asset. Great at covering, he's got good defending and physical as well. Just a solid all-round card. Left hand side we've got Gal Clichy, pretty similar actually, very quick, not as quick as Kyle Walker, but he's got 85 pace, but really strong defending, 80. His physical's only 68, but it never seems to be much of a hindrance in my opinion whenever I use him. You can see I've only played 3 with him, but that's purely because I usually use the informed Clichy, but with this only being a 60k team, you've got to go for the regular, unfortunately. There's somewhere that you could improve if you wanted to. Get the informed one, it's absolutely incredible card, really solid. Centre backs we've got Koscielny and MATIC, two very quick centre backs. 82 pace on Koscielny, partnered 84 defending, which is fantastic, and 77 physical, which is also pretty awesome. I paid 10,750, but again, ignore that. You can get him a lot cheaper. You can get him for about 2.5k now. Partnering with him with a MATIC, a player that we covered in the OP alphabet, absolute tank, one of the best centre backs in the game for some bizarre reason. He's only 75 overall, but his 83 pace is outstanding, and then he's got half decent defending and physical as well, 75 and 77. Really strong card. You can see I've used this one 96 times. All round beast, fantastic centre back. I've got no instructions on the defenders, I do not believe, but we will just double check that. Look, just stay back on attacking is automatically there for your centre backs obviously, so we'll move on into the midfield. Now you'll notice with a lot of my teams that I've done in the past, in these deeper lying centre mid roles I like people to be born defensive, and that's exactly what we've done again here. We'll start off on the left hand side where we've got Fernandinho. Of course he's now got the medium high work rate, so that's good for him sitting back. He's got fantastic pace with 78, defending 73 and physical 75. Really good box-to-box midfielder, but with the medium-high work rates, he's just fantastic at sitting there and cutting out the player, and exactly the same can be said for this man on the other side. Not as quick by any stretch of the imagination, but Nemanja Matic is just an absolute force to be reckoned with on this game. 68 pace, 82 defending and 87 physical. He's just an absolute monster, and again, I played 5k for him, but again, you can get him for less than that now. We have got instructions on these two, I'll show you quickly. We have got Nemanja Matic onto stay back while attacking. Like I say, I like these two here to stay back, so we've got them both on stay back while attacking, and that's all we've changed for those two. So in theory, that should then allow Tadic, Balassi, REMY and Alexis Sanchez to sort of bomb forward as a four-way attack, if you like, while this back six almost sits back and does the defending. But Tadic, I could have perhaps gone for a higher rated cam, someone like Juan Mata maybe, Oscar, but I really rate this cam card. You can see I've played 6 games with it. Oh, actually again, I've got an informed version of Tadic that I've used a lot more, but he's just so good. I mean, you can get him for less than a K. He's got fantastic passing, shooting, he's got 4-star skill moves. He's a real tank of a player. Great free kicks on him as well, and the instructions I've got on him are the basic defensive support. I've basically given him a free roam in the middle of the park to go wherever he wants to try and feed the ball through to one of those front three, and he does the job really, really well. Really, you're looking at these two to win the ball back. If they can't play it straight forward to one of the front three, you can give it to Tadic, and he acts like the pivot in the team, turns the ball around and gets bombing forward. Great long shot, great passing. He's just a fantastic all-round cam in my opinion. I was really disappointed actually because he has got an 81 upgrade, but it's a left-hand side midfielder I believe, so real shame that his upgrade isn't a cam, but still nevertheless his 80 is a solid card. We'll start from the left-hand side of the attack now on the left wing spice, and we have got Yannick Bolasie. Of course, as you all know, he's now got the 5-star skills partnered with the 4-star weak foot. You can get him for around about 2k I believe it was, and 86 pace, 84 dribbling, 67 shooting, 72 passing, 81 physical. Really fantastic card. If you all saw my review of the inform version that's at striker, you know how highly I rate him. It's just his finishing that lets him down a little bit, but really when you're on the wing, you can cut inside, play it into Remy, chip it over the other side to Sanchez, and it works as an absolute treat. Real good player. We've got Loic Remy leading the attack in the middle, really OP as hell striker basically. You can see by the way, ignore the records where it says played 1, scored none, no assists, because as you'll see at the end of the game, I actually got kicked unfortunately after I'd won the game, which is always a pain in the arse. But Loic Remy, just an all-round fantastic striker. He's got 6 foot for the headers, 90 pace, 74 dribbling with the 4-star skill moves, 80 shooting, 68 passing, 71 physical. There are not many more well-rounded strikers out there on the entire game, never mind in the Premiership. He's a really strong player, right-footed, medium work rates, and you can get him a game for about 3 or 4k. Absolute player and a half. He is really good, and he actually scores a really nice goal in the game, which you'll see in a moment. Alexis Sanchez, the main man on the team. When I got given the budget of 60k for this team, I think you can usually afford 1 or 2 standout players, and Courtois and Sanchez are the 2 standouts in this team for me as far as rating is concerned. And Sanchez never disappoints. He's a fantastic player in real life, and he's got a fantastic card. You can see I played 11 games with this one now. 88 pace, 88 dribbling, 85 shooting, 77 passing and 68 physical. All round fantastic player. He can cut inside, he can go outside. He's got a great shot on him, he's got good passing on his locker. He can do absolutely everything. Of course he's got the 4-star skill moves as you'd expect with a player of his kind, and he can just absolutely terrorise any defence. The instructions we've got on the front three I'll show you now. Yannick Bolasie, again I explained it in the last team I did. I didn't want him on to get behind because I've got Remy and I've got Sanchez on to get in behind. If they're all getting in behind, sometimes you've got no one coming short for the ball. So Bolasie is coming short for the ball, so he could run with his amazing skills and whatnot at the defence. I just got him on basic everything basically, didn't change a single thing. But then you look over at Sanchez, I've got him on to balance width and getting behind. So really, he should be getting in behind on that right hand side of the field. Bolasie can play it over to him, you can perhaps see Tadic pinging it over to him. He's just there all the time hopefully, and you'll see with him staying out wide, I scored a fantastic goal with him in the game that I played, which you'll see in a second. And then Loic Remy, the key to this one, wanted him to get him behind again with his electric pace, and I also wanted him to stay central. There's no point in Loic Remy drifting out left and right when you've already got players there. Keep him down the central, get him on to get him behind, and he will make some fantastic runs. And you can see he just demands the ball. He starts the run, he curves the run back, points where he wants it, you put it through, and he is such a clinical finisher that most of the time he will get the goal. That is the team on the whole. Like I say, costs around about, I think when I figured it out, it was 57,900, but you can get some of the players cheaper than that, so you can perhaps get another quality player in there for someone in there like you didn't like Tadic. You could probably very easily on the budget pick up someone like Oscar, Ericsson, Mata, anyone of that kind of ilk. You could easily get in there instead. But I really enjoyed this team. I won the game that I played in 4-2. I'll show you the highlights now. So what is going to happen is my face is going to vanish off the screen. The video will cut to some of the goals and whatnot, and then you'll just hear me speaking about the team, how it played, and what was important about the way it went about everything. So stick around, I'll be back in a second. So you can see everybody, this is the opponent I came up against, Foot FC of course, because everybody's called Foot FC these days, and it's a really strong Bundesliga team. He's got Inform Muller at striker, he's got Robben, he's got Rouse. It's just an absolute, probably the best Bundesliga squad you can build, not including Informs. First thing we'll look at is going to be the goals we conceded. The first one is just really unlucky to be honest. He's got a good tackling, good block, and then he managed to just get the lucky bounce of it and just smash it in with Robben. Robben's not missing from there. The second one I do take a lot more of the blame for. I really thought he was going to go with the 1-2 with Schweinsteiger, but he managed to weave his way through and hammer it in. So that one was some poor defending on my part, but now I'll get into the positives. Petr, really solid keeper. Didn't have too much to do, but he did do what he had to do pretty well. You can see there's solid save. The defence, as you'd expect with the new Haran Koscielny, very pacey, very strong. You can see some examples of them here. Winning the ball back, just terrorising the defence with their pace, knocking it forward and getting some attacks on the go. You can see with this one here, we're knocking it around, win it in the middle of the park, knock it onto Tadic, and he's really unlucky with that long range effort on his weaker foot as well. Here's the first goal that we get though. Sanchez using his electric pace. He's the main man in this team. terrorising the defence with some skill moves, and he goes down, wins the penalty here, and he will take the penalty himself and convert it. But like I said, when you've got a 60k budget, you want to be picking out 2 or 3 players that you want to make your key men in the team. In this one, like I say, Courtois, Sanchez, and probably Matic were the 3 key players. Maybe Koscielny as well you could include. Remy though, never going in, never going to stop this, are you really? Look at that fantastic turn. Peels away from the defender with these with his fantastic pace, and a tidy finish into the far right hand corner. You can see again here another example of winning the ball deep. Koscielny using his fantastic strength. We play it out wide to Sanchez eventually after some neat footwork by Matic there. And look at this for a goal. Chops inside one, tidy little ball roll inside the second, and then you'll see a nice little fake step over basically. He thinks I'm going to cut inside, and I don't at first. Then I do cut inside, smash it in with Sanchez, and it is easy as that really. We win it back again here in the middle of the park. Fantastic play. You can see here Remy demanding the ball, tells you where he wants it, you put him through, and like I said before, he just does not miss. He makes fantastic runs. He's just an all-round fantastic striker. You can see here, this is the end of the game. I've fast-forwarded it all. The cutscene's happening, whatever. You can see it just freezes here on Robin. Kicks me to the home screen. I've come back into Ultimate Team, and unfortunately, I do have the loss. But the key with this team, without doubt, is really exploit Sanchez and Balas's pace and skills on the wings. Remy's a clinical striker. If ever he's sort of pointing for it, like you saw in that clip there, he points for the ball, makes fantastic runs, put him through, because 9 times out of 10 the timing of his runs are superb. He ends up 1-on-1, and because of his pace, no one's catching him up either, and he can just finish with ease. Make sure you've got Fernandinho and MATIC on to stay back, because they're 2 fantastic players at cutting the ball out, whether it's because of the pace or the strength. Both of them have got the great individual stats that make them useful in the role for different reasons. And yeah, it's just an all-round solid team. So I hope, Callum, that answered the question, and that's a solid enough team for you. Like I say, any suggestions of players that you would like to put in instead of anyone I use? Tadic would probably be the main one I could see. Some people not wanting to use Tadic. I have got some suggestions that I'll show you now on the bench as well. We've got the likes of it. These are sort of examples of if you've got a bit more money that you wanted to use these players, or just alternatives that are just as cheap. You've got Aguero, Company, Cech, Cuadrado, Vertonghen, Dembele, Begovic, Jovetic, Emre Can's silver card, which is an absolutely outstanding card, and Sterling for the right hand side if you couldn't afford Sanchez. All those players that slide into that team really nice and easily, all fantastic players. But as it was, as a starting 11, that team worked really well for me. Like I say, I hope that's the kind of team that you're after, Callum. I hope that ticks the box. Any suggestions for teams that you want me to do in the future, remember to put them down in the comments down below. Make sure to smash the like button on this. It'd be fantastic if we could get over 12 likes again for this. And also subscribe to the channel if you've not already. I will speak to you all tomorrow. Nidge out. What is going on, everybody, and welcome to episode number 9 now, I believe it is, of our MLS League of Legends career mode save with the Houston Dynamo. And